The men who are playing professional golf right now, get your dollars. It's never been a better time.
Fore-play presented by Barstool Sports, brought to you by the great friends at Chevrolet. I got the bow tie on my hat. We love Chevrolet, Chevy, the Blazer, the whole deal. The Scottie Scheffler show continues. We got a lot of Scottie to talk about. We had a whole protester incident to talk about. We've got an update on the Ted Scott Monoliths standings on the PGA Tour, which is incredibly impressive. I did a good amount of research on just history of money over the last 25 years on tour, Tiger's top years, and where Scottie's at with that, where Ted Scott's there with that. It's pretty fucking laughable at this point. But we're going into, I would say, kind of a little bit of a couple week lull period in the world of golf. These guys are all posted. Trent was just mentioning at pre-show about how they're on 10 out of 12 weeks. They all had a 3-week stretch here where they played 2 elevated events, Major Championship, which is US Open, which is the most grueling of all of them. So now they're kind of chilling for a few weeks. But I really don't know what else you can say about Scottie Scheffler. I looked like Cam Young, shot 59. He started yesterday with a 30 on the front nine. Wasn't even close to beating Scottie Scheffler. Tom Kim's out there doing everything imaginable. He's making putts with all kinds of paint on the green. He still can't beat Scottie Scheffler. So this guy's just pretty much unbeatable.
That is true. Colin Morikawa has been playing great. Tom Kim obviously played great. All of these storylines are happening every week, it seems, certainly with Colin and Tony. And they've just had great runs here. And it does not matter. Scottie Scheffler ends up winning every tournament, it seems. I mean, he didn't win the last 2 majors, which is honestly surprising to everyone. But these elevated events that he plays in, he's just going to win them, regardless of a 59, regardless, whoever. Like Colin, I feel like has been top 3 the last month straight or more. And he just can't break through because Scottie Scheffler's in the field. It's incredible. I honestly don't know what to say about it either, because it's getting to the point where it's like, yeah, of course he won. He's Scottie Scheffler.
So if you set up a golf course the way the PGA Tour likes to set up a golf course, Scottie's going to win. This week, they made some changes to TPC River Highlands before the tournament this year. They made the fairways narrower. They added some length. They added some rough. Kind of the PGA Tour playbook. It made no difference as far as the scoring. And this is the setup Scottie has won 5 of the 8 signature events that have happened so far this year. Which is insane. So, and with the PGA Tour, they set up golf courses a certain way, and they're in charge of these signature events, and that's what Scottie was talking about Pinehurst, about why the setup messed with him so much, is it was set up so differently. There wasn't a bunch of rough, there wasn't soft greens, and it was the one tournament all year that he struggled.
This episode is brought to you by Chevy. With golf season in full swing, Chevy wants to help you make the most of every single drive. The all-electric Blazer EV, it offers incredible views. It's got an expansive 17.7-inch standard diagonal display screen and available EPA estimated 324 miles of range on a full charge. So you're looking for a little extra distance. All you golf folks out there, 324 miles of range on a full charge. Blazer EV, it's Motor Trend's 2024 SUV of the year. This thing's a hell of a machine, gentlemen.
Yeah, innovation at its finest. Chevy, the bow tie, history, and now the frontier, frontiering this new world into electric vehicles. Really, really good stuff. We've seen them now, and we've been talking about the Chevy EV, the Blazer EV, for a long time, and it feels like now they're really you're starting to see them all around when you're driving, especially on Long Island. You drive on the LIE, Southern State, you're seeing these things whiz right by you all the time.
Yeah, it's true. When we first started talking about Chevy last year and a half ago, in terms of what was all out on the EVs, the Blazer and this one wasn't quite out yet. And now, like you said, you're starting to see them in real life out on the street. They are popping. They got great, everything, but the design, it looks sleek. The Blazer's iconic. We talk about the bow tie being iconic. The Blazer is as representative of that iconicness as it can possibly get. All kinds of cool vintage Blazers out there. And now they've just combined it with the electric vehicle innovation that they've been doing for over 10 years. And a quick reminder, Motor Trend, they judged everything: big, small, gas, hybrid, electric, luxury, any SUV you've ever heard of. They judged all of them, and Blazer EV beat them all. So head over to Chevy.com/Blazer EV to check out lease offers and amazing deals. That is Chevy.com/Blazer EV. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
He's already made almost 28 million on course this year, which is obviously there's been inflation and there's been this huge influx of money to the PGA Tour, but I think Tiger's best year was like 9 million in 2001. Is that right?
Yeah, I looked in 2000 when he won 9 tournaments. Tiger made $9.18 million at that point. Steve Williams would have been 51st on the PGA Tour money list if we do the 10% thing. And the PGA Tour average for earnings that year was a little over $600,000. This year already, like you said, Scottie's made $27 million. Ted Scott himself is, if you do the 10% thing, is between $2.5 and $3 million in earnings this year. And it's laughable, that difference. Now, as things got, the pools got bigger, the Tiger effect got more and more real. It is like 2009. He made a little over $10 million, but that's not that big of a difference from 2000 to 2009, $1 million difference, whatever it might be. Now the numbers are absolutely laughable. I saw last year the PGA Tour like average earnings was $2.36 million. In 1995, which was the first year before the Tiger effect kicked in, his first year before Tiger turned pro, the tour average in earnings was $175,000. So I know, like, obviously inflation, things have changed. $175,000, even in 1995, when you're paying your caddy X%, and they didn't have as many swing coaches or whatnot, but all the travel expenses, you're not like some mega rich guy making $175,000 before all the other stuff. Now, I mean, $2.3 million as a PGA Tour average. It's just a hilarious jump that's occurred in that time. And Scottie is cashing in, obviously, at the very top of that whole thing. It's insane how much money he's got. It's insane.
Yeah, and it's crazy what he still has left, right? So he's got 27.7 million right now. Still got the Open Championship, which, they don't release the purses, but that was 16.5 million last year, 3.5 million to the winner. I have to think it will probably bump up, and it will be 3.6 million to the winner at least, which is what the signature events are, which is what the Masters was. Just a guess. Then he's got the first. Oh, then after that, they get the payout for the Comcast Business Top 10, which is the top 10 guys in the FedEx Cup before the playoffs. Remember, they reallocated more money toward that this year. They took some money away from the Player Impact Program and put more money toward that. Which
what the hell is that? What the hell is that?
It's called the Comcast Business Top 10, and the winner gets $8 million. And he's definitely he's a lock. I think if he didn't play another tournament, he would win. In fact, I'm sure that's the case. So there's another 8 million. So that brings him up to 35 million. That they're almost 36 million. Then there's 2 playoff events before the Tour Championship, which are both signature event purses. So $20 million, 3.6 million to the winner. He's got 2 more of those. And then he gets his FedEx Cup payout, which is 100 million total, 25 million to the winner this year. We could talk about whether he needs more than a 2-shot lead going into the Tour Championship, because he could easily be caught and not win the FedEx Cup, which would be very silly given the year that he's had. And then he gets a Player Impact Program, which still exists. It's smaller this year. It's only 50 million total, 10 million to the winner. But there's a good chance that Scottie, that the PGA Tour, not just from earnings, but money that the PGA Tour gives to Scottie Scheffler could be about $60 million this year. And then that doesn't include Nike, our great friends at TaylorMade, Veritex Bank, all the different sponsors that he has. I'm interested to see where he comes in this year on the Forbes list of highest paid athletes, because you wouldn't think of him there in the sense of he's not, on every commercial, but just playing this good at golf, he's going to be one of the highest paid athletes in the world this year.
I mean, the evolution of golf, when you talk about the influx of cash now and what they're giving these guys, when you talk about Scottie Scheffler era to Tiger Woods era, it's like talking Alex Rodriguez contract to Babe Ruth at this point. That's how fast this has evolved. $175,000 less than 30 years ago. And now we got a guy with the potential to make $60 million playing the same golf that Tiger Woods played in the early 2000s. It's actually it has to be the most influx of cash, the quickest, right, out of any sport.
Greg Norman in 1995 led the PGA Tour money list. He had 3 wins. He had $1.65 million in earnings.
Actually, that may not be correct. What did the top quarterback make in 2005, and now what they're making in in
led in 95, 1.6 million led.
That led the entire thing.
I think Tom Kim made more than that yesterday, finishing second.
Yep.
It'd be interesting to look because I feel like what was Michael Vick making in like 2004?
In 2004, Peyton Manning was making $14 million a year.
That's a lot still.
That's a ton.
Yeah.
And what is Patrick Mahomes making now? 50?
Yeah.
But still,
So
it's not even close. It's not even close because that's 2.5x.
If Scottie makes 60 and Tiger made 9,
you also got to think like Tiger didn't get like there's the Tiger effect, but he doesn't get the full benefit of that because it's like a wave. It feels like the wave is coming because you can't react to Tiger fast enough.
This is the Yasser effect. There was the Tiger effect up to the 2020, and then it's the Yasser effect in the last 5 years.
Phil Mickelson effect, if we're really going to be throwing flowers at people, like Phil Mickelson. Phil Mickelson changed the game of golf. We're talking guys making $60 million. This guy was the leading spear to just change this bitch.
And think if you're Scottie Scheffler, the money has never been higher, and the fields, they're elevated events, so they're as strong as they can be. But Jon Rahm is getting mad at drones in Nashville. Like it's not the same thing. The fields aren't the same. If you're trying to cash in on money on the PGA Tour, and you're Scottie Scheffler, now is the perfect time to do it because not only are you the best player on the planet, but the fields don't have everybody.
Dude, Scottie Scheffler is already 5th all time in PGA Tour money list. In the history of the PGA Tour. He's got $70.2 million in earnings. But also one behind him is Adam Scott. And it's like you wouldn't think of Adam Scott being anywhere near there, but his longevity, we saw that with how many majors he's played in a row.
92.
Yes, he's had a hell of a career, like all that stuff, but still, like him being right there, it just talks, it does show the difference between that lull period from when Jack and Arnie were sort of really at their peak winning. And then there was a good, from the 70s till the Tiger effect, 20 years or so, where, you had some serious stars came through, you had some serious moments, but like there was a bit of a lull, a stagnant period in terms of stars truly, like a golf star being able to dramatically change the landscape. Arnie did it, Tiger did it, and now the Tiger effect has led to whatever this is that's going on. No one thought there would be this much dominance. And I think even when the tour came up with that, all the programs that Dan just listed, which millions here, 10 million there, 50 million there, like they figured that would all get spread out. Nobody could dominate. There's too much parity. This guy's got 6 wins before July for the first time since 1962. It's only happened a couple times, and it's stacking up to a hilarious amount of money. And like you said, they still have to play for the most stuff that has the most money throughout the rest of this year. So it is laughable. Ted Scott himself, I know it's turned into a fun little narrative about where he's at. Like I said, that 10% is general. We don't know exactly what their setup is, but 10% of the $27 million he's made so far will get him around $2.7 million. I looked in the names that is ahead of on the PGA Tour money list throughout this year. Victor Hovland is a name that he's ahead of. Harris English is a name that he's ahead of. And that's just Ted Scott as a caddy, hasn't hit a single shot this year. So Scotty's numbers are off the charts. He's got, I think, a $13 million lead on second place, which is Xander Schauffele when it comes to earnings this year. I don't know how much more you could say. And Scotty's done it all while getting fucking arrested, having a kid, all these things that typically would derail a lot of people's year or at least slow it down. He's got more priorities now. He's literally just had a child and he's won twice. I mean, Bennett Scheffler has seen 2 elevated events victories, which is more than like anyone else in the history of golf has won not 2 elevated events. So it's unbelievable.
Someone that's smarter than me and has more patience, please go through the top paid players in every sport in the year 2004, right? And then combine that to the top paid players in every sport in 2024, and please report back to me. I want to know the increase because it can't be as much as golf. It can't be, if you're saying that Tiger Woods made $10 million in 2004 and Scottie Scheffler has the potential to make $60 million being the best player in his tour by winning less tournaments, that number cannot be similar to any other sport because Alex Rodriguez was getting huge contracts in the MLB. I just read off like Peyton Manning, and I even saw like Richard Seymour in 2006 signed like a $23 million a year contract. Michael Vick signed a 10-year, $130 million contract. Like these guys were signing big contracts back in the early 2000s. Golf was making no money. Tiger had to literally win every golf tournament he played to make $10 million.
But comparing, like, think about how much bigger the NFL has always been than golf. But
my argument is now Scottie can make the most money in his sport than anyone else in sports. No one else is going to make $60 million playing their sport.
Yeah, he's such an outlier, though. I'd be curious what the second place guy this year is going to make. So in August of 2022. The PGA Tour, I got my hands on this document. The PGA Tour sent its players. So this was like at the height of LIV Golf, and LIV was saying like offering guys like hundreds of millions. The PGA Tour sent around this document that basically projected how past careers would have gone in today's money ecosystem with all the programs that they've created, and they said that if Jim Furyk had the same career now. Like if he was a rookie this year, that he had back in the 90s and the 2000s. So he made $71.5 million total in on-course earnings. I think he's like third or fourth all time.
Still pretty fucking amazing. Jim Furyk.
In those 28 years, according to this document, his total compensation from the tour would be $620 million. To sample a few others, Rory McIlroy, this was 2 years ago, would already be at $373 million. Jordan Spieth at $240 million. Brandt Snedeker at $180 million. So they basically, they project all of this money. You can make all this to say you can make a ton of money playing golf these days. Now, where that money's coming from, if it's sustainable, that's another conversation. But the men who are playing professional golf right now, get your dollars. It's never been a better time.
It is difficult to do the stats because then you also have to, you have to go on a Scottie run to make this much money because golf is such a personal sport that you really can't average it out. Like the potential to earn has always been an outrageous number if you just went out and won every single time you played, because then you can make all the money and everyone else makes zero of it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, he is just doing it. I mean, it is comparable because he's winning as much as guys did in the early 2000s. So it is a comparable stat just for one guy at least.
Yeah, that's why doing it to Tiger is kind of the only thing you can even try to do it to, because there had already been the Tiger effect. So the prize pools were bigger than they ever were by far. That Norman stat is laughable. $1.5 or $6 million was the leading on the PGA Tour money list in 1995. And then you look, and Tiger had several years where it was like 9 or 10 million as the leader. But you're right. In order to make that much, he had to do things that we now get. Like, you ridiculed if you even try to compare what Sky's doing to what he did. Well, we got some serious military helicopters flying around over here.
And who else won? Who else has won like six? They showed the graphic yesterday. 6, 7, 8. Was it Vijay Singh?
Yeah,
won 6 times. Tiger's done it multiple times. Tiger's won 7 multiple times, 8 multiple times, 9. He's won multiple times. So it's like you can't even compare. But Vijay was up there. I wonder how much did Vijay Singh cash in the early 2000s when he won 6 tournaments? Because that would be a pretty. If Scottie doesn't win another event this year, that would be a perfect comparison.
So I'm trying to.
I don't know what Vijay won.
Vijay's name with 9. Did he win 9 one year?
Yeah, 2004. He unseated Tiger as the number. He unseated Tiger as the number 1 player in the world, kind of in Tiger's heyday. It was pretty electric.
What the hell?
Yeah, dude. Vijay Singh was
Vijay
sick.
Singh.
So and all of it after age 40 is wild.
Nick Price was up there, I think.
Yeah.
Vijay Singh won 9 times in 2004 for about $11 million. Was number 1 on the PGA Tour money list. The tour average that year was $874,000. Was the tour average?
But that's also they didn't have. There was no other funds. It was just like the money that you made. There was no FedEx Cup. There was no Comcast Business. There was no player impact program. Comcast Business. I just made it up this morning. And they're giving the guy $8 million. Pretty amazing,
dude.
Yeah, it is stunning. I mean, even a guy who's like a Patrick Cantlay is making outrageous fuck you money on the tour. So yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the influx of cash is something that no one saw coming, and I guess PGA Tour has always had this money to just be able to push it out because they're clearly surviving. They're getting investments now. They're being real businessmen. They're for profit, and it's better for the sport. It's better for the players. Good for everyone. They're all making cash. They deserve it. I mean, we're watching it. It was great television yesterday. It was great to sit on a couch on Sunday and watch 2 guys go at it like that. And that's what sport is. And that's what guys are making that money in every other league. Why not golf?
It is great for the entire game, and it's an incredible time to be simply just like better at golf than other people. And if you look back at those Tiger years when, those numbers don't seem that astronomical and we compare them to Peyton Manning and Michael Vick and all that, but Tiger also around those years was reported to be taking in $100 million a year. And now he was, the guy. He was the most famous person or athlete in the world, or at least one of them. And that there's a massive delta between one or two guys in golf, especially around that time, and everyone else. Like David Duval couldn't bring in that much money at all when it comes to sponsors and endorsements, but Tiger and Phil were fucking some of the highest paid athletes in the world when you include everything. And now I think in golf, it's almost shifted to where it's just you make the most money now just from the prize pools in playing the best golf. And that wasn't the case for a while. You had to be the biggest star, and it led to other stuff. Phil and Tiger won a shit ton, but even years where they weren't winning a shit ton, they were making the most money. Now it's almost like not worth it to put a lot of your earnings or rely on a lot of your earnings to come from sponsors. It's worth it to just make sure you are playing the best golf imaginable because there's so much money to be playing for. Did you know you can get tickets next month, July 27th, Yankee Stadium? We got Manchester City versus AC Milan. I know that's across the country from where you live now, Dan, but you're a big soccer guy.
Manchester United's coming to Los Angeles July 27th. I believe I'll be maybe at the Open. There's a lot of soccer coming this summer.
Yeah, the tickets to Yankee Stadium, I'm looking at $78. You can get them on Game Time. There's all kinds of great offerings. We got the Yankees at the Met, $73. That's coming up. Oh, that's pretty much going on right now. We got Luke Combs coming to East Rutherford, good old New Jersey, MetLife Stadium. We got $148. I'm looking on July 19th. You can get a 2-day pass for $210. So point is, Game Time, they got all the best deals for last minute tickets. We love Game Time, their official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Going to events is great. Game Time is the best way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I just looked on my app, and just in one swipe, you can go to Aladdin, Sarah McLachlan, or Yankees Mets. There's a million different versions of entertainment on that app. It doesn't have to just be games. It doesn't have to just be concerts. You can go to a play. You can go to Broadway. Everything is on there. It's great because right now, especially in New York, these big metro areas, every single night there's going to be some sort of talent coming through at Madison Square Garden or Jones Beach out here on Long Island. It's great to just browse. Like Luke Combs is coming to Jersey on Friday. That's a huge, or the 19th. That's a huge concert at MetLife Stadium. And right there, you can get in for $130.
That is right. Thanks to Game Time, which is the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. They got flash deals for sudden discount, zone deals if you're feeling flexible. Their lowest price guarantee means that if you can find the same seats for less anywhere else, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time's the best place for last minute seats, up to 60% off your favorite events. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use code 4 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Use that code 4 for $20 off your first purchase.
No, I was going to ask Danny this, but he just left. Is Scottie not a good pick for the Open? What is Scottie's finishes at the Open Championship? If he feels uncomfortable standing on a tee, looking out at, not a typical PGA Tour event with luscious fairways and thick rough, and he sees tee to green. There he is. There's Danny. I would love to know what his odds are going into the Open.
Not
Scottie,
great.
Danny.
If you look overall, just in terms of his finishes real quick, Frankie, he went 2021, tied for 8th, tied for 21st, tied for 23rd. Those are his last 3 results. No tournament in 2020. There's a global pandemic.
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
it's kind of what I was talking about at the beginning, where it's like we know what a PGA Tour setup looks like, and we know how that's going to go. The U.S. Open was very different, and it gave him serious issues. And the Open Championship will be super different than what they see week. I mean, it would be basic. I mean, if you watched yesterday, the golf course yesterday was basically, Valhalla, just with a different name. Long, juicy, rough, soft greens. What we saw at Pinehurst was visibly different. What we see at the Open will be visibly different. And it's not a knock on Scottie, but you know, you got, if you're going to be compared to Tiger and stuff, you got to do it on a bunch of different types of setups. And so he's got, I mean, the Masters is not a PGA Tour setup. It's very firm, and the golf course is very different. So he's proven it there. But yeah, his Open Championship, he's only got one top 10 in 4 starts. It's going to be very interesting to see. And that's kind of the last, you know, if he puts a no-show on the Open Championship and then wins the FedEx Cup, it's like more of this. You know, you kind of want to see how you want to see a little variety.
Prove it, Scotty. Prove that you're actually this good. You know what I mean? Do it across the pond. I'm with you. He needs to do it there. He's got it.
I like that foreplay. We should be the one group that leads the narrative of like, is Scottie really that good? Like, I don't know. I just have like, if it doesn't look like a PGA Tour course, this guy's really not that good.
He's a system golfer.
Yeah, he's a PGA Tour merchant. You know,
he is a system golfer. He is just a system golfer. Once you throw the Masters in there, I do kind of, okay, this guy could just figure it out. Because especially this last year, the Masters played, the Augusta National played so cool. It was firm as shit. There was like almost no rain come tournament time. They were able to kind of do whatever they want with it. And he prevailed in that whole thing. So, I would love to see him play well. I just feel like if it's a golf course, he's going to kind of figure it out. And I did love at the Travelers this week when he had the whole quotes about, yeah, like the U.S. Open Pinehurst did kind of mess with me. He's like, usually I know which side of the fairway you could miss on, and you could still get away with making a par, even having a birdie look. Whereas at Pinehurst, it was kind of a crapshoot. If you missed the fairway anywhere, you could be completely screwed. You could be fine. And that just messed with me, and I couldn't quite get it done. So maybe that'll happen at the Open. I saw I believe he's not going to play the Genesis Scottish Open beforehand. He said kind of the next time that we're going to see him is going to be the Open Championship, which I thought was a little bit interesting. But yeah, I don't know what much more you could say. I did love this tweet, which said that Scottie Scheffler, with 6 wins, a Masters, and the Players Championship, has already had better career in just these 6 wins that he's had this year than Tom Lehman, Ricky Fowler, Max Homa, Tony Finau, Brian Harmon, Shane Lowry, Keegan Bradley, Luke Donald, Lee Westwood. He's had a better career this year than those guys had their entire careers, which is just unbelievable. And the last thing I'll say on the Scottie thing is compared to Tiger and Phil and Jack Nicklaus, it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I know Scottie had an incredible performance he was a really, really good amateur at Texas, but he wasn't like this all-world prodigy who, when he came out on tour, everyone had to weigh in on like, oh man, he's going to be a problem. It was sort of like he was playing solid. He's this young guy. Then he beat Jon Rahm in singles at Whistling Straits, and all of a sudden he became like the best player in the history of the world.
He didn't even get his PGA Tour card until he was 23. So if Tom Kim won yesterday, he would have had 4 wins before turning 23 at all. So he got a relatively late start, just by doing 4 years at Texas and then doing 1 year on the Corn Ferry Tour.
If you guys want an interesting interview to listen to, go back to when we had Scottie Scheffler and Wyndham Clark on the same show back at Liberty National. What was that, like the Northern Trust or something like that?
2018, 2017?
No, it must
I think
have
it was
been.
like
really?
2021.
His
It was only
rookie
like
year
3 or
was
4 years
2020.
ago.
His rookie year was 2020.
Yeah, it was only 3 years ago.
Wow, I thought it was
That's how
way
fast
longer.
things have happened, dude.
Dude,
That's
go
how this
back and
guy's
listen to
gone
that
from
when he actually talked to us, which is just a shame. Like, he was at Sally's at Pisa in New Haven with Sam Burns and Tom Kim. I didn't get a fucking text. Sam Burns is our guy too. At some point we turn on Sam Burns because
Never.
now, like, at some point I'm going to start throwing a little shade at that guy because like he's our guy. You gotta. It's like when you get into a fight with an ex-girlfriend or something, you're like, please, like, you use like a friend to be like, please bridge the gap. Like, I miss her. I want her back. Like, please, like go talk to her. Tell her I'm a good guy. Like, show her all the things I'm doing. That's what we need with Sam. He's got to sit him down at Sally's and be like, these guys, they want you back, man. Because I can't keep watching this guy. It would go back to 2021 when how close we were with Scottie Scheffler. I know I sound desperate and I want to get on my knees, and I do a little bit, but go back to foreplay golf in 2021 with how close we were to Scottie Scheffler, and now look at who Scottie Scheffler is. We're talking about him being he's arguably the Forbes best athlete in the world.
Yeah,
And
well-
he's getting arrested and the police are running after him on the 18th green. It's crazy. This
Also-
guy, Dave Portnoy's made like $4 million off this guy. This guy's been infused in our brains more than any athlete in the world right now, and we can't say a word to him.
Also, if our wagon had stayed hitched to him and he had like continued to do stuff with us, continue the podcast, we're pardon my take of golf. Like we are just.
I'll leave all of this behind. You know what I mean? Like, sorry,
mean?
I'm gone. I'll if he wants me to become a priest and do whatever I got to do to follow, I'll do it. I'll do whatever I got to do, man. I'll be an altar boy. I'll do whatever I got to do.
The thing is, it's not like he started hanging with us and then his career derailed and then now he doesn't and he's phenomenal. There was a stretch a couple of years ago where we had him on like a week before the Masters when he had won 1 million tournaments in a row, and then he won the Masters. And Frankie and I hung out with him and his wife and Ted Scott on the 16th hole at the fucking Masters, and then he won the Masters. We were like, all right, you're right, Trent.
I got to ask him a question.
Now we're in with them, man.
I got to ask him a question before the Masters where I said, how do you feel knowing that you're playing at Augusta National and you are supposed to win? And he was like all into it. He's like, it's awesome. Like, we take it week by week. It was a fucking amazing interview. And now it's gone. I don't know what happened. It is what it is. I know his circle's gotten tighter. He doesn't do anything anymore. So it's a shame.
One wrench he threw at us, because if without that, what is it? We did with TaylorMade, the obstacle course.
Oh, the obstacle course.
Without that,
he had a great time.
Without that, it's radio silence for like 3 years. But that was like last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah, he had a great time.
He did the obstacle course with us. It was him and Tommy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy to think about.
He was sprinting up and down the fairways and like hitting pure golf shots as we were going under like tubes and
imagine pitching that idea now.
But he was Scottie Scheffler then.
Should
he
we
was
put that video out like it's the first time it's ever gone out?
We should.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God,
Yes.
we have this crazy obstacle course video.
And all the interviews too.
Just there's got to be a way we could AI that into like, oh yeah, we just filmed these with Scotty last week. Put them out.
I legit am gonna put that on my story today, being like new video obstacle course with Scottie Scheffler.
Yeah.
See how many views it gets.
100%. We also did like a one club challenge. We did everything with Scottie Scheffler. We've got a bunch of videos on there, didn't we? We did a one club again.
And we should have known, because remember the one club?
Views.
He like almost made eagle on a par 5 with like a 4-iron. He just played it.
He tied you in the face, Frankie Borelli.
Tied me in the face. Yep, we did a putting challenge with them. It's crazy. Yeah, now that he's put that out, it has been. He's been around more than we say. Like those videos are pretty big videos. Those are big chunks of time. This is the first summer. Last fall was the first time we didn't get him at TaylorMade Media Days. So maybe this year it's a rekindling of friendship.
And even then, he was still kind of laughing a little bit about the Tiger stuff that was going on. Like we saw him in between videos a little, and he was sort of like, "Oh, okay, something's happening here, you guys." So he was like chit chatty. We also were a little bit jaded because we see him like almost only at major championships, and we're upset that he won't stop his major championship preparation to like
I know.
hang out.
Just give me a look. Just give me a thumbs up or something. Because the last couple at Pinehurst was bad. Like he walked right by us as if he couldn't look at us. Like it was mandated. We got to talk about Tom Kim. I called him cute as a button. He really is. I mean, if you don't think that guy's adorable out there, 22 years old, acting like no care in the world. I couldn't get a grasp on if he was so calm because he was with Scotty or if he was nervously talking to just like kind of talk through the fact that he was in a final pairing at a big elevated event with his friend Scottie Scheffler going shot for shot. But did you guys see how much Tom Kim was speaking? Every time the camera went on him, he was talking a mile a minute.
I didn't realize how close they were. Like I had no idea. Obviously you see the videos of them. They were at Sally's or whatever last week, but I didn't realize like now there's workout videos from Dallas coming out. Like I think that was maybe a little bit of both, but I think there's a genuine friendship there. And then he was just like, isn't this cool that we're playing in the final group together, going shot for shot?
It wasn't just that he was talking. You're right, Frankie, because it wasn't just that he was talking to Scotty. He was just, I remember in the 18th hole, like when he needed to make birdie on the 72nd hole, the words per minute he was talking to his caddy was,
oh my God,
was amazing.
Bro, they did this shot. They do the shot where like the camera is like focused on Scotty, and you see this like mouth moving like closer to frame, and then they kind of focus on him, and he's losing his mind. His caddy's just sitting there, just letting him just go. and go.
Yeah.
I guess that's just his shot preparation, right? He just
Yeah.
talks through everything he's feeling.
I guess
Also,
maybe it's the.
I mean,
yeah,
he's
maybe
like
that's
a
the future
20-year-old
of
kid. Like, or
Maybe that's
20,
the
you know what I'm
future.
saying?
Maybe it's like with Bryson. All these kids are just going to start like talking all the time, and
Well, Dr.
gone
Brett
are the
McDavid,
Tiger
it
days
is-
where it's like tunnel vision. Now it's like, let's talk to every single human being that we can find around us.
It is this new form of like golf preparation, or having a set, system before you hit, a process where you want to talk everything out. Sometimes that helps these guys be athletes who are like, I'm going to do this. I feel the wind. I'm going to shoot it this way. I'm going to hit it that way. Last time I did this and it didn't work. Now, like, he was really going through every single shot. You could actually hear through the microphone. He was talking about, like, last time they went with the wind, this time with the wind is at his back. He was just going on and on and on. I assume that happens way more often than we see as a viewer on the TV, that these guys are talking through every shot. It was just funny to watch. He was just yapping Scottie Scheffler's ear off, walking down the fairway. And I, for a second, was like, this might be the one thing that takes Scottie down. He's never had to deal with this, where someone is just like annoying him as he goes down the fairway and be like, Scottie, you want to go get that pizza after? He's just like, dude, I'm about to go win another event right now. But Scottie loved it. They called him Uncle Tom. They called Meredith came out, gave him the baby, and he's like kissing Bennett.
She was like, I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm like, man, these families are closer than I realized.
I love Tom Kim. He's a fucking great kid.
Maybe they should.
Every
Maybe
time
it should
we've
be
seen him
Uncle
at
Tommy.
events,
Maybe not Uncle Tom. Maybe Uncle Tommy.
Yeah,
or
Uncle Tom hits the air wrong.
Uncle
for
T.
sure.
Uncle Tom just
I felt weird
it's
saying
like
it.
whoa. Yeah, it's like, whoa.
I felt we were saying it, but then I saw the tweet flash across my eyes. She definitely said that. She definitely said Uncle Tom.
Yeah, no, they're calling him
sure.
Uncle Tom, which is just
Well,
I think you got to go
we
somewhere else.
Yeah. There's a funny concept too of Scottie, like Tom Kim being super giddy. He's in this final group with Scottie, and Scottie's like, I've been in the final group with everyone, so like I can just it doesn't matter. Like, this guy, he's throwing, he's all giddy. Other guys don't talk. Some people are Uncle Tom. He's like, every week it's just a new guy that I deal with, and this is just part of the deal. And Scottie has he's got such a mature approach about him out there that it feels, he does have a hint of the Tiger, like, ruthlessness to him that I think is starting to come through. Like, he is just quiet afterwards. He's very like monotone. He's very even keel. It seemed like there was all the protester stuff going on, and they're walking up after the last hole to do the scorecard thing. And I know he's going to a playoff, and his buddy's there, and he's all hyped, and he pretty much I don't think he showed a single emotion until the whole thing was over. And then it's like business as usual. Like, the whole deal comes on. He did let up a nice fist pump. He got a little bit emotional when Bennett was out there, which was cool. But up until that, it's like, dude, he is fucking unflappable out there.
On 17, they like missed putts, and then Tom Kim went up to him and was like laughing out loud about how he thought it was going to break more. And I just couldn't stop wondering if that was going to get Scottie off of his finishing tournament Terminator mode that he's been in. To win, 6 elevated events is not easy, or 6 events. Yeah, it's like, it's not easy to be able to do that. And this is the first time like one of his best friends was out there to kind of just bring him back to reality a little bit, and he still persevered.
Get ready for a full night of big fights and big action. It's UFC 303, and it could be even bigger. Jump in on all the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. If you didn't know that, try betting on something simple. You can just pick a fighter to win a fight. You can go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, just select your fighter, place your first bet. It is that simple. And speaking of amazing, if you're new to DraftKings, listen up, because new customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Amazing matchups, amazing deal right there. We love using DraftKings Sportsbook. The interface is great. The opportunity is great. It's just fun when you open it up. You got all this opportunity. DraftKings is the best.
I'm starting to get a feel for cricket, fellas. I came to New York. It came right across from Borelli's. I placed a wager the other day on Afghanistan over Australia, and they were huge underdogs because Australia was batting, or they were defending the wicket, and Afghanistan was just like kind of keeping them to a low score. And the way that they put it, there's a channel on TV that's only cricket, especially right now during this World Cup, and you can watch game after game after game. And Australia just wasn't getting enough points, and I placed a nice healthy wager on Afghanistan, and they came back and won, and it was awesome. It was like 1:00 in the morning. I'm sitting in bed watching cricket, and it was great. I had action on the game. They won. I was feeling good. Yeah, it's a great sport, man. It's actually pretty simple. One team gets a certain amount of points, the other team just gets up and has to beat that amount of points.
I might hit you up for some cricket. Right, picks. Give me some picks.
Might start
100%.
trailing Frankie Borelli in cricket.
Yeah, I've got a good feel. Like that was a big one. It was like plus like 800 at the time where I placed it. Like they held them off.
You gotten the photos back at all from Pinehurst? I'm looking at all these photos behind you of like people in front of your house and stuff, the golfers.
I got quite a few. We got some really good stuff. Yep. I'm gonna get all the basically the best photos. I'm gonna frame them and have a whole section kind of in the house that's gonna have a bunch of the photos. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. Didn't go great for me at DraftKings Sportsbook at Pinehurst, but it can go great for you going forward. I've got a nice little action tonight on Game 7. I bet the Oilers pre-series. I had pretty much written that off. Now all of a sudden we're back. So there's all kinds of great action. If you're in, if you got a buddy who's a cricket sharp, DraftKings Sportsbook is going to be great for you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code FORE. That's code FORE for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Get that big fight feel only on DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
I mean, obviously, everything that happened on the 18th green was out of control. These protesters should be, that guy that got brought out, the videos of him like kicking the roses and losing his mind, like that. I don't want to get too crazy and like get sued, but like that guy needs to be like executed.
I laughed so hard at that guy.
That guy needs to be executed on the green.
It was wild.
We almost got to do a weekly rating of the performance of the police. Like Louisville was poor. It was very these guys were excellent. I thought like the Cromwell, Connecticut, the videos of them tackling these protesters.
So
the fact that they had that coordinated of all these different people coming from all over the place, and they got like a little bit of white and a little bit of red on the green. They couldn't even affect Tom Kim's putt. He steps up, buries it. The police just tackling people, and then all the videos from like it's very funny. That the whole green is surrounded by all these pro golf people. We got guys with like backwards tailor-made hats on and like their polos have been losing buttons and they're out there like this is their peak, man. They're going to go watch Sunday at their local tournament. All the guys are in town. And then these protesters come out that are anti-golf and they're like, fuck you. And then the police tackle them and they're like, yeah, like going crazy.
He's also wearing a golf polo. He's wearing a golf outfit. So he went like incognito.
You got to fit in.
Yeah,
you got to fit in,
man. They're chanting USA as they got pretty soon thereafter. So I mean, it's just it's like if the goal of and I guess you could say the goal is to just draw awareness, not to win people over to your side. But if the goal is to win people over to your side, well, it's having the opposite effect.
Yeah, because with a protest, that's the point of it, is to disrupt and bring attention. But anymore, especially in the last 10 years, people just don't want to deal with that, especially when they're just trying to watch golf on a Sunday. It's like it is the opposite effect. I feel like in the past, a long time ago, it would have been like, oh, what are those people doing? They're still like, you're annoying me and I wish you weren't here. But now people are so just like, everything is politicized. They're like, I just want to watch golf on a Sunday. I don't want to deal with fucking protesters.
Right. The things that they protest, I think of the Mona Lisa. Stonehenge was earlier this year, and I know it's not the same exact group, but it's the same it's all the same thing. These are the things that bring people together, right? Art and historical monuments and sporting events. There are a lot. I mean, obviously, any golf event, it's going to be more conservative people than liberal. But you're in Connecticut. I'm sure there are a bunch of liberal people in the crowd, and they're all like, "Fuck you guys too." You're ruining one of the only things that we can share together.
Losers that finally have something to like care about, and they finally have their friend group that they could. We're all going to get together. We're going to get paint. We're going to get smoke, and we're going to ruin this golf tournament because we weren't able to play golf when we were younger because we're not athletic and we're fucking losers. And they ran out there and they tried to ruin the golf tournament. Like Scottie Scheffler's face when he saw them running around was like, who are these fucking guys? It was such a cool Scottie moment where he looked at Ted Scottie. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? Look at these losers. That's what they are. They're losers.
They're losers, and they're clearly not golf people, because if you want to disrupt a golf tournament, we've been saying this for years, you wait until right in his backstroke of that putt to tie the tournament. That's when you go nuts. You go crazy. He yips the putt. Then that clip goes everywhere. Everyone's like, oh my God, somebody finally did it. We've been saying since the inception of this show that like I can't believe golf fans have been so well behaved over the history of time. How have there been all these huge moments and no one has just blurted something out right in somebody's backswing and they hit it out of bounds?
That's
And
how you know they don't know golf. They
don't know
They had
golf.
no
They
idea.
came out at the worst time. Everyone's just like, all right, this police are tackled them. Everybody's happy about that. They're like, fuck these people. And then Tom Kim steps up, drills it, and everyone's like, all right, now we'll just move the hole.
We're going to move the hole.
No
I
problem.
laughed so
Move the
hard
fucking hole.
at the fact that like what was going through Scottie Scheffler's mind when he's on the green and he just sees this, just another police presence sprinting toward him. It's just got to be like, man, I can't have a normal week out here. Something's going on. I've got this cloud that's following me where the police are just everywhere. There's one image of they were finishing up the hole and Scottie was finishing up his putt. And it was a drone shot, and it was just police surrounding the green. And Scottie Scheffler was finishing up his round of golf. He's just looking around like, I can't just have a normal day out here right now. Something's just happening.
Yeah, no, it was quite the scene, and police crushed it. They're tackled people. I love the videos. Tom Kim making his putt was huge for that moment. There was also this has happened before. There was, I believe, when Tiger was finishing up the 2006 Open Championship, protesters ran out on the green, and that was the one where Tiger cried right afterwards after he won. It was a couple months after his dad had passed away, and he had missed the cut at the U.S. Open at Winged Foot. And then he came out, he won the British Open, and on the 18th green, they had to like slow play down. Protesters came out, put a bunch of stuff on the green. It had no impact whatsoever. Tiger buried it, and that was the only clip that goes out. So you can tell they're not golf people. They don't really know how to actually disrupt the tournament. Shout out to DK Partner. I had several losses last week, but I had a playoff. To go to a playoff was a yes. That was huge. It was plus 375. Wow. So we love the DK Partner. That's always nice. Moving on in the professional golf game, LIV Golf Nashville on the complete other side of things, money and the infusion and all that. Felt like it had a little bit of juice this week. I know a lot of that's probably the Bryson effect from him showing up, and they shower him like he's having a parade when he arrives as like one of their guys that went out and won one of the big things and then brings the trophy home. They had the party whole thing going on. We've got a little bit of presence in Nashville with the Bussin' Boys. Hannah Cook lives out there. There's Barstool Nashville. So like I saw some people in our orbit that were posting a bunch of videos from the party hole. I saw they had more than 40,000 spectators attended the tournament at the Grove over the course of the 3 days, which is a new record for them. I think a sellout crowd of over 14,000 people on Saturday and Sunday. So give credit where credit's due. It felt to me like LIV had a little bit of juice this week.
Yeah, it was those guys were, I miss them. This was one of the first, not one of the first weeks, but a big week where it was like, if we could just combine these two leaderboards.
Leagues,
what if we took all the people
them into one
who were playing in Nashville and all the people who were playing in Connecticut, and then we just put them in the same tournament, and then you'd have like Scottie and Bryson and Rahm, and isn't that an idea? One more thing I wanted to add, Briggs, big winner this past week, Pinehurst No. 2, because I think the more that this year gets insane for Scottie, the more Pinehurst can be like, we got him this year.
We tricked him. We tricked that guy.
We got him.
Wiregrass
Every other fucking tournament, he found a way to be near the lead, even from a jail cell. But our Wiregrass and our tabletop greens, the year of Scottie Scheffler, we got him.
Yeah, Pinehurst even had effect on me as a viewer, because when I was watching the Travelers this week, I would watch a ball hit the green and I would continue staring at it. And I feel like the cameras would stay on it for an extra beat too, because we got last week, it was everything would start and then the camera would start to move and you're like, here goes the ball. But then it's a regular PGA Tour event and the ball just stays and they shoot 25 under.
Dude, when it just makes a ball mark and the ball just sits there, you wait an extra half second. You're like, what's going to happen next? And then they just cut to another shot that does the same thing. You're like, all right, okay.
They're going to torch this place.
Yeah, they're going to light this place up. And again, that's great. Not every tournament should be like Pinehurst or like the Open Championship, but it is nice for the variety in the viewing. When that does happen and the ball moves around a lot, you can actually get like a pretty tangible, real look at why some courses trick people and play harder than others. And yeah, Dan, I saw a lot of people in the old the golf Twitter space that were chiming in on how all the changes that they made to Travelers just didn't affect anything. And it's sort of incredible that anybody would think that they would, because it's like, how many times have we had to hear guys say, I think Justin Thomas is the most prevalent guy that said, like, if you want us to shoot higher scores or worse scores, whatever you want to say, worse scores. Like it has to be firm as shit on the greens, and like there probably needs to be wind. Otherwise, if it ain't firm and if it's basically not firm, we can shoot as many under as we need to shoot. And that was prevalent. Aaron Hills, all these places they've gone where it's like it just needs to be incredibly firm. If it's soft at all, they could just stop the ball wherever they want to. They're so good at that they're going to light the place up. And that's obviously what they did. So, but yeah, to go to the Nashville thing, I thought Bryson still got it, man. I mean, he's doing the thing where all the fans are touching the trophy. Everybody's still eating it up. He was out there on the party hole, hits one in there close. Saw the one view. I think it was the Bussin' Guys posted where they zoom in. They zoom back to Bryson. He's like hyping up the crowd like Tiger in 97 after he made the ace, like kind of raising the roof. And he's just still got the juice. So it is a wildly different experience than watching at the PGA Tour event, with their music and all that. But this week, it just seemed to kind of like, it seemed to hit. Again, it's probably a little bit more. The Bryson still got it from winning the U.S. Open. So people are hyped. They want to know what he's doing. But yeah, I saw quite a few clips and thought, all right, LIV is like, at that moment, it was at a point that maybe a lot of us never thought it would get to with all the fans and everything.
Is there a least happy 100 millionaire in the world though than Jon Rahm? Like, is there anybody who has that much money who is as angry as that guy is? Maybe it's just the clips that I see, because I know he played well. He was up near the top of the leaderboard. The drone clip, he motherfucked those drones for like 15 seconds. And it just seems like that guy, it hasn't been going well since all of this has happened. He pulled out of Pinehurst #2, like hasn't been playing well in the majors. And then every clip you see, he's just angry. He's really mad all the time.
That was a Brendan Jones drone movement, I know for sure. Like, when Brendan will sometimes fly it in over the tee box and then stop the drone to try and get the shot. But the propellers make that insane loud noise because they're moving 1,000 miles an hour faster to stop their movement.
They're fighting.
And it happens real quick out there with the drone. But yeah, I mean, Rahm's looking for anything to blame out there. And he's obviously frustrated with the format and all of that stuff. He loves, I think, the change in golf. And I think he does love the money and he wants everyone to get back together. We've talked about that a lot. The fact that he thought that he was going to be the guy that was going to bring this whole thing together. And he's not. A lot of these things are probably compounding the frustration for him from week to week to week. He's getting injured, his foot, his toe, whatever it might be. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely in a frustrated spot. I think no one will be more happy to have this thing merged than Jon Rahm, just to have this whole thing behind him. Just one.
I agree with that.
I think it's so interesting. I mean, it's really wild. Like that he missed Pinehurst. I mean, he finished third this past week. It's like, it's very strange to me that he didn't. I mean, I'm not saying that he could have played. It's just like what terrible timing, I suppose. He played the week before. He pulled out of Houston. He misses Pinehurst, and he plays the very next week and finishes third. It's kind of like Rory missing that Open Championship when he was playing soccer. It's just like one of those like weird things that happens in golf where it's like, what kind of timing is this?
Yeah. To play back. And remember, he went all the way to Pinehurst and did a press conference from there.
And I was in the room, and he was he was in the worst mood I've ever. He was in just a foul mood that day.
He is the type, and when he's in a bad mood, he's the type of guy who can affect an entire crowd of people. He's got that anger, that deep. There's only a few people that have it, and he's one of them. Where it's like when he's in a bad mood, everybody within a quarter mile has to just shut the fuck up and watch out. Because he's an angry fuck.
Yeah,
dude, the drone thing. He was just mad at everything. Like, I can't even imagine what he's saying to his boy there throughout the whole. What is it, Adam Hayes? Is that our guy? What's his last name?
Yeah, we had him on. He's a trooper.
Fucking love that guy. He was great. He was such a trooper with uploading the footage. What a disaster that was afterwards. But dude, the shit that he must hear from Jon Rahm throughout the entire day. If that's the only thing we saw was he's caught screaming at the drone. God, the just shit he must be pissed off about throughout the day. And look, anything could be going on in anybody's life, but the optics sure are that, like, he took the pile, he went to LIV, he thought it was going to be a unifying move that maybe by the Masters everybody would be having come together. Those were kind of some of the reports. And now he's just out there. There's fucking party holes. There's drones that are pissing him off. He's not playing well. He's not playing well at the majors. Meanwhile, over in like all the other. Remember the Players Championship, we all kind of said afterwards, like, God, Jon Rahm would have loved to have been part of that. And like the Travelers with the finish. And I was thinking about it earlier too. Like, I think it's hurting LIV that they don't have a finish. Like, it's a shotgun, so everybody finishes at the same time. I think that's actually really hurting them. And like, one of the only clips I can remember from the last couple of years
Neiman.
really coming out. I don't even remember like the Neiman one necessarily. I remember DJ making that like eagle putt on the playoff hole, but that wasn't right because like the finish wasn't like their shotgun was. That was a playoff where it was actually a congregated finish. I remember Bryson making the putt to shoot like 40 or whatever the hell he shot at the Greenbrier. But again, that was kind of a focused like finish. I just feel like they kind of struggle by not having a tournament funnel to like a finish.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like there's a format that has, been tried and true for a long time. That works for golf tournaments.
Maybe on the last day you do the regular, like the first couple rounds are shotgun, and then because you do need a finish.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Willie Wilcox. Sungjae finished fourth or tied for third, and Willie told me yesterday that he's now richer than Elon Musk. So it's going well over there.
He's pumped. The Prince, just 9-iron.
Just give it to me.
Easy Go golf carts are not just for golf. You can hit the neighborhood, hit the beach, hit a tailgate with Easy Go. It's good to go, even if you don't have anywhere necessarily to go. In Pinehurst, everybody's got a golf cart. You can drive the streets. Anything that's 25 miles an hour or less speed limit, you can drive a golf cart on in the village of Pinehurst or whenever I'm there. Even if you rent a car, which I usually do, it's just nice to be in a golf cart. You take that puppy to get a coffee in the morning, go get a sandwich for lunch, go pick somebody up down the street, whatever it is. Being in a golf cart's great. Being in an Easy Go golf cart is even better. They're the industry-leading technology, quality craftsmen. That's kind of Easy Go's entire thing. They're built in Augusta to outperform and outlast anything that's built in Augusta. It's just obviously it's got a nice little aura to it. We love Easy Go carts. We got a couple at the Barstool Classic that are all souped up. You can soup them up too. You can customize the hell out of them. But yeah, the more time you spend in Easy Go, the better you're doing in life, I would say.
Yeah, the souped up ones at the Classic are mind-blowing. Whenever we drive past anyone with those things, they're like, what the hell is that? I mean, it's an amazing piece of technology.
I know.
They rip.
They do. Rip. You can go to easygo.com to customize your ride, pick a sweet paint job, throw some lifted tires on there, add speakers. Building your Easy Go is half the entire fun of the journey. It's hard to put the Easy Go difference into words, but it's definitely easy to feel it. So take a test drive. See why Easy Go is America's leading golf cart. Feel why it's good to go with Easy Go golf carts. Build yours online. Get $1,000 off when you get a quote with the code fore-play at easygo.com. So again, we're going to get you $1,000 off when you request a quote with the code fore-play, FOREPLAY. That's one word. $1,000 off fore-play at easygo.com.
I just had such a weird memory, like brain thing that just hit me. When I was younger, living at my parents' house, I would be on the computer in the computer room. We all have a computer room, right? Where the computer was in.
Mm-hmm.
So I would sit there, and outside the window to my right, which is very similar to my setup right now, I always used to see my neighbor walk by his house and like go to his backyard. And I would always kind of like jerk my head over there and look. It was just like a natural motion. You'd see him in the corner of your eye. He would walk by.
Disturbia.
And
is it because you were watching porn? Are you like jerking off?
No, you just like
voyeur,
maybe. Yeah, there were times with that, but then you'd also see like I don't know. You see someone walk by the window, you'd always look, and he was always like working on the side of his house. Right? He's passed away, actually. Rest in peace. But I have a tree. I'm on the second level here in this room, and I have a tree, and it's pretty windy out here on Long Island, and a branch just like kind of went right by the window, and I don't know if you went back and looked at the footage, I kind of jerked my head real quick, and it was like it was subconscious, where I almost thought I could almost see the siding of the house and a guy's head go by. It was very strange.
Brain stuff is weird.
Very strange, to the point where right now in the corner of my eye, I almost can picture the whole house, the blue bottom, the white siding, and just a guy walking by his truck. But when I look outside, there's just trees. It's fucking weird.
That's how the brain works, right? Like, you actually do see the thing that like you think you see. So like when you're walking on the street and you see someone, you think you recognize someone, you actually did see them. Your brain takes the like little like cues and goes to that image. So you actually did see what you thought you saw.
Well, that's weird. And then we've also talked about what's the word? Deja vu. Where, and I could be wrong about this, but I've been saying this to people forever. I've been saying this, so this is now Frankie fact, that when you have deja vu, it actually enters a part of your brain that is like the historical, like past part of your brain that is memories before it hits your like now part of your brain. So your brain thinks we saw that 10 years ago, or we've been in this situation before, even though it's happening right now. You actually genuinely believe that this has happened to you because it entered your brain the wrong way. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Now, that
you
could be
get
wrong.
you get your wires crossed for a second.
Right. That could be
Yeah.
wrong.
That sounds right.
That has to be right. If
Because it's not like you
Take it with
actually.
a grain of salt.
Because the whole thing is like you'd have probably deja vu. Well, it depends on who you ask, I guess. But you haven't actually experienced what you think you're experiencing.
Yeah, it's
it just
heuristics.
hits your
It's
brain.
like your brain does little shortcuts because it can't.
Yes.
It can't possibly like process everything, so it takes the things that it knows and it shows you those again.
Oh,
The earliest known written example of the phrase "take with a grain of salt" was 77 AD by Pliny, the elder who translated an ancient text that suggested that a pinch of salt might enhance the properties of an antidote to poison.
take it with a grain
Take
of salt.
everything with just a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm. I think that even if that's not correct about deja vu, there's no one on earth that could know if that's correct or not.
Yeah.
It's like that's just what we have to go with, right? Like they don't know
Yeah, you
anything
can't-
about anything
No.
of that. It's like whatever
You
just
need to,
happened
like-
up in that noodle.
You need to have someone in like a brain MRI, like have a moment where they like, oh my God, I think I've been here before. And then they have to track all
You
that.
would have you would have to have someone wearing
Right.
a helmet all day that's this mini MRI machine, hoping that the deja vu happens to
Which
them.
deja vu is like what, a couple times a year? Maybe you get some
Maybe.
deja vu. Maybe.
Maybe.
But then you tell yourself it's impossible for this to have happened because I'm currently in a situation where I've like it happened to me once. We were on the track of like NASCAR, and I was like, I had crazy deja vu right now. And then I remembered this is my first time at NASCAR,
Yeah.
so
Unless
it's
you've lived
that's what
other
you
lives.
That's what you
Right.
think, Frankie.
right.
This could be your 30th, 40th go with this thing.
right.
Right.
Um,
right. No, I actually watched a video on how because when we were younger and you learned about conception and fertilization, because I got a lot of babies being born around me. My sister-in-law's about to give birth. Shout out to Casey and Nick.
Shut up.
And it's just you read textbooks and you used to watch these like old ass fucking VHSs in middle school and high school about like how it happens, right? The miracle of life, all this stuff. Now, when you watch like a 2024 visualization or a recreation with like all the special effects and shit of how a sperm enters an egg, it's fucking wild, man. You understand what I'm saying? It sounds ridiculous and boring. Go watch like a 4-minute video on YouTube of how the fuck we became human beings.
Go
It'll
watch a
blow your
4-minute
mind.
video on Pornhub.com on how babies
No,
are
no,
made.
no, no,
and
no.
I
I'm
watch
not
it every
talking
night, pal. I know how that shit happens.
Yeah. I know how they're not. made,
I'm watching
that's
those
like-
things ending on the titties,
Right.
not inside. But listen,
that's right. It's a
Listen.
void being made.
I'm talking about fertilization, fellas. All right, I'm
This-
talking the deep stuff. If you found yourself on page 37 of the hub, go check out fertilization. See if that does something for you. All right.
This guy is just in the trenches of fertilization. Clearly,
Yeah.
something going on in his life where he's like,
Yeah.
yeah. How does this shit happen? What goes on here?
No, man, it's just interesting. It's like 300 million of these things fight to go to one
Oh,
location.
we're
and
all
one-
miracles. It's like one in like a
and-
trillion chance.
It's 300 million will go through and one will find its way against all odds. And then once that one gets there, like the system that has to happen, we all end up as these little chromosomes flying around. And then somehow we match up with the female chromosomes. And then we become like a bracket of little things that are flicking around like little fingers. And then right there in that instant, gender, eye color, hair color, disease, all that stuff is just like cemented in your legacy. You'll be 70 years old with like with a bad knee, and it was all because of that moment. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking wild.
Kind of takes the romance out of it. Like in terms of like what
For sure.
in terms of like what's going to happen. Like I don't need to know everything. I don't want to know everything. Like it's randomization. They're trying to put a pin on randomization. It's like that's like too in depth for me.
One of
the
the
egg
yeah,
like knows not to let other ones in. It like spews out this acid, and all the other sperm are like, oh fuck, I guess something else is in there. And you're like, how does this all work?
Frank
How
and I
does
have
that
both been
happen?
married. Have you been married for a year now? Have you crossed
It'll
that
be July
threshold?
8th.
Yeah, so we've both been married for about a year now. So obviously, like babies, stuff starting.
Oh, I'm
to
deep
be,
in
to be
it, yeah.
talked about, and it's like it's the gulf between how you actually get pregnant and how much work it might take versus when you're in school and they tell you that if you're in the same jacuzzi and you masturbate, you're going to get the
Right,
girl
they scare
pregnant
you.
afterwards. So it's
Yeah.
that one always gets me. It's like,
They're
we got
definitely
to try
like
really hard.
some teen pregnancy, you know, like unplanned people out there that are listening to this being like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Like, what?
Yeah.
We
Right.
got so fucked there.
It
Also,
is. It's fucked because like what the journey is insane.
there's like
one
pre-cum
little
incidents
fighter.
where someone gets pregnant and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, like,
And then you
what?
find out it's like winning the hardest lottery in history.
Right.
We are
Right.
the hardest lottery in history. So
Yes.
shout out to us for making it. We're the strongest of 300 million. Come on, man.
And we get to
Pretty
talk
good.
about
What did it
golf
take?
for a living. Things have gone pretty
Yeah.
fucking well for us.
Yeah.
Think about all that could have went wrong. You could have gotten caught in the lining. Oh,
Ooh.
Ooh.
Caught in the line.
God.
the
Are
mucus.
you guys watching House of the Dragon?
Yeah.
So I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't watched last night's episode. I watched episode 1. So
It's good.
It
Game of
is good.
Thrones.
I'm not going to spoil anything so people can stick around, but
Okay.
I've just been like having an internal struggle, especially when I watched the first episode of the season. I was like, I don't know if I need this in my life anymore. Like I stuck with Thrones for 8 seasons or whatever because it was so iconic and it was so part of the social zeitgeist and it was just a great
It's
show and I
cultural.
was in love with all of those characters. Now I'm watching an offshoot that is equally as violent and depressing and anxiety filled, but I don't care as much about these characters. It brings me to a point where when I'm watching it, especially that first episode, the ending of that first episode, I was really just like, I could really let this go, and I don't think my life would change that much. It's certainly a popular show. People want to talk about it. It's an interesting show. I like that world, I guess, but maybe I don't as
if
much
you're
as I
gonna break
thought.
away from it, Trent, you better do it now
I
because
like that world, I guess.
every episode that we
gonna
go,
rev
you're gonna get to where you got with Thrones, which, like you said, it wasn't even that you might not even have been enjoying it towards the end, but it's like you have to see the whole thing through. You can't bail at this point. You're at a point now, I think you could bail and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But if you keep going through this thing, we've already had some emotional moments have happened to
We
us.
may not love the characters as much as we did. We also spent like 10 to 12 years with those other characters
Yeah.
in between each season. There was years of making it. They've done a good job of, you have to see how this ends now. And that's just a good TV show. Like, you imagine not knowing how this all ends. I mean, I've already only invested myself in 10 episodes all
Yeah.
time, maybe 12. I have to see how it ends. I don't know how many seasons it's going to go on, but I need to know who wins these battles, who fucked over who. And it's going to get nasty. It's going to get nasty. It's
Oh.
going to get dark. I mean, I feel the same way. I watched The Boys, and I
Oh.
think I might be out on that because The Boys is turning into a jump scare of just like a body
I
getting
hate
ripped
that.
to shreds. And I'm
No.
just like, I'm
Mm-mm.
really watching this to see like maybe a half a titty and then like a funny joke from Homelander because he's such a fucking lunatic. And then it's just like, I don't need all the other stuff, you know? Like, they're jump scaring you every 10 seconds now in The Boys. And I actually think the new season is horrific. It's horrible.
I haven't watched that. I that's a show that I have kept up on. I haven't started watching the new season. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm probably going to keep going with House of the Dragon just because it's on Sunday nights, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'll watch that now. But yeah, there was just a small part of me yesterday in the last like 24 hours where I was like, I could just like go outside and not watch everybody get butchered. Everybody you watch is going to end up getting butchered. Just depends on how and how devastating it's going to be. And it's quite a show and it's quite a world.
Did you guys watch The Gentleman on Netflix?
No.
No, I watched a movie. I didn't watch the show adaptation.
The show is really good. I started watching it on a flight this past weekend. I'm like 2 episodes in, and it's phenomenal. So I would highly recommend that. Summer's all about freedom, having fun, enjoying yourself, getting out there. It's hot. You don't necessarily have to blow your budget, make some crazy trip. You can forget having to take a vacation to take yourself a nice tequila-cation with the new Truly tequila sodas. They are a refreshing blend of real fruit juice made from concentrate, sparkling water, and premium tequila blanco. It is the drink of the summer. 4 great flavors: lime, pineapple, guava, grapefruit, watermelon, 5% ABV, just 100 calories. These things are being enjoyed by thousands of golfers at the Barstool Classic across the country. Thank God they came up with these because the Truly tequila sodas are fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know how much they want to talk about, like, not that they used to be a negative thing, but the faces and the reactions of the people at the Barstool Classic this year, especially when you're a repeat customer of the Barstool Classic, and this is maybe your second or third, and we were always providing Trulies, and they were drinking, they were having a good time. I've never seen a reaction more positive about these new tequila sodas out of any drink. Like, I'm talking every time they crack one open, they drink, they look at us, they go, this is what I'm talking about. Like, they point at it, they're laughing on the first one. Like, this is what I'm fucking talking about. It's been 100 out of 100 well received. Not
People
one person's complained about these things. They're amazing.
And we can obviously say we like them and they're a partner of ours and all that. But you're right, seeing hundreds, thousands of golfers in real time try them for the first time. They absolutely love them. They're phenomenal. They got 4 different flavors, like we said. They're all 5% ABV, so you're going to have yourself a delightful time. Just 100 calories. They're refreshing. It's summertime. Truly tequila soda. Go try them. Keep it light. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, Boston, Massachusetts. Please drink responsibly. Another question. Did you guys seen anything about these monoliths that have been appearing? The one that appeared in Las Vegas?
What's a monolith?
Monolith. It's like these big, it's like the big mirror looking thing that just appeared in a village, in a mountain village, remote mountain village outside of Las Vegas. And some search and rescue crew in like a helicopter spotted it. And then they're tying it to, like, in 2020, there were just like a handful of these monoliths that appeared in very random places like California, Romania, and
I don't like these.
They don't know if they have no idea where these things came from. They're, like, one theory is that they're some tied to some art expression, but if that were the case, you would think that, like, someone would have come out and been like, that was us, but instead they just haven't. And so I was reading more into it, and that one of the ones that appeared in California in 2020 was removed by a handful of men who drove 5 hours away. They posted a video online that showed the men wearing night vision goggles, and they took down the monolith before chanting "Christ is King and America first," and then they replaced it with a wooden cross. And they said, we don't want illegal aliens from Mexico or from outer space, was kind of their whole claim for taking the whole thing down.
Sick.
This is a pro.
Sick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the one from Vegas right now. It says a strange monolith has been found jutting out of a remote mountain peak near Las Vegas, but after a 3-day desert trek, an Associated Press reporter couldn't find it. I feel like it's a guerrilla marketing thing, right? Like, I feel like it's going to be for some, like, movie or some company or something, right? Because these are not naturally occurring objects, are they?
Have you seen the movie Arrival?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar to that. That's kind of what happened in that movie.
Right.
You just start seeing weird shit pop up.
Well,
things
again,
pop up, like these buildings pop up, and they don't know what they are.
Right. And this thing, Arrival is a fantastic movie, by the way. That's the one with all the language stuff, right? They bring in the language experts.
Yes. Different dimensions and
phenomenal. But
exactly.
Yeah, that's right. That's
really
exactly what it is. And they're drawing shit, right? They realize they can, like, draw shit together, and they start doing all
that. It's like a linguistics movie.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The tricky part about this is, like, the one that showed up in, like, New Mexico, and then, like, the next day one showed up in Romania. So it's not like those things are, like, one crew that's, like, doing it in the southwestern part of the United States. It's like, we're fucking Romania. These things are
you remember, like, when crop circles were a big deal, Riggs, in the Midwest?
Uh-huh.
And they were these, and there were these incredible patterns that were like, how is this happening? How is this happening? This is clearly aliens. This is it. This is how they're doing it. They're showing off, whatever. And it just ended up, it was like a bunch of teenagers that would take planks to a cornfield and just mat it down. It's just never what you think it's going to be. Like, these monoliths, there's certainly probably some speculation that it's aliens, and it's just going to end up being promotion for a movie. And it's like, damn, life is never as interesting as you think it's going to be.
It's also like, at what point do you trust a source? Like, when people told us it was just those teenagers bringing planks out there, who is that source that we then were like, yeah, you're right. Let's just put closure on that. That's over now. Right? Like, where is truth? Where does, like, your truth barometer reach the edge where you're like, that's definitely what it is for
I
sure.
think they admitted to it. I think they were like, yeah, that's us.
I mean, I don't know that does it for me. I don't, I'm just like,
Where does
maybe in
truth
that
live?
instance, but even in this one, it's like, who has to come out and say, like, are those teenagers under gunpoint when they admit it? I don't fucking know. Like, that happens to people. We've seen all kinds of documentaries where people admit to crazy shit because they're under all, I just don't know. I don't know where at this point in the day and age, I find something, read something, see something where I'm like, yep, that's the truth.
Ever since
over
making
that.
a murderer and they made that poor kid admit to like killing like
Brandon?
6 children.
Was his name
And
Brandon?
He had
Was that
nothing
his
to do with
name?
it. Brendan.
Yeah.
Brendan Dassey?
Yeah, he got out.
Mm.
But
And the older guys, like, I just don't know.
He just admitted
Just
to
don't
like
know who
killing
done
like,
it.
in really brutal fashion many people who he did not kill.
Yeah,
Right.
that police
I'm saying.
interrogation, that opened a lot of eyes, I think, where it was just like, they'll just make you pretty much they'll drain you, and it'll be a marathon interrogation to the point where you're like, I'll say anything to stop talking to you guys. I'll admit to murder to stop talking to you guys. Yeah, that was a tough one. That was tough.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that these are necessarily aliens. It seems like this would be, I don't know. You got to do something bigger than this if you're aliens. And it looks like if these 5 guys from wherever just drove up and took this thing away in their truck, then like the aliens aren't having the impact that they're. I need these things to be pretty powerful, and it doesn't seem like they are.
It was funny when you said truth. This guy Grill Guy on Instagram, he's sometimes in that like Bobby Fairways crew, but he is a very funny follow. He did this one where he was like talking about how he can't even offer truth to his wife anymore. Like she's reached that level of like argumentative where he can't offer truth. Like he said they were at dinner and she and Take On Me came out and she goes, "Oh, Hall and Oates," and he goes, "Actually, it's not Hall and Oates." And she goes, "Okay, fine, fucking Google it." He goes, "I Googled it and it was the band Aha." And she goes, "All right, fuck, like who fucking cares anyway?" He goes, "I just offered truth. I offered the truth and you will not accept truth." And it is funny. It's like if you expand that to the world with something as serious as a monolith, like what is truth? You don't even have to believe truth at this point, right? Like wives won't even believe truth if you say I brought the if I brought the garbage out. She's like, "No, you didn't." I'm like, "Yes, I did." And then she's like, "Well, I didn't fucking ask you anyway." It's like, well, that's just the truth.
This happened yesterday.
believe
I
what
was
you
telling
want.
Emma, I was like, listen, the golf tournament's going to be over in 20 minutes. And then like, we can go out for lunch. And then it went to a playoff. And I was like, oh, it went to a playoff. She's like, fuck you. No, it did. I'm like, no, like you could look at the TV. Like they're in a playoff right now. Like that's just kind of what's happening.
Oh, the video is so funny. He's like hauling something on the beach. He's like, "I offered truth. I'll never offer truth again." It's a very good.
All you can do is offer truth. That's it.
Yeah.
The women's KPMG women's PGA. There's a lot of letters that they put in there. Out at Sahalee, wild golf course in terms of just how narrow it was. You guys saw a bunch of those clips and those still shots of like the tee shots. It was hilarious. Amy Yang gets the win. She's a 34-year-old veteran, been out there. A bunch of people were very happy for her. She's won, I think, like 4 or 5 times, but 4 of them were in, I believe, like in Asia, which she's Korean, so it's like she hadn't really won much in the United States. Wins a major championship. Awesome to watch. Played phenomenal despite even a bogey and a double late in the round. I thought Nelly Korda had she kind of took over a lot on Friday. Shot 81. She was like at one point, I believe, like crying walking down one of the fairways, just struggling so much. Insanely relatable on every single level of the world of golf. She was on top of the world. She's won 1 million tournaments in a row. She won a major championship in there. She was just absolutely unstoppable. And then she posts the 10 on a par 3 at the U.S. Open. And now she's out here. And again, shoots the 81, misses the cut, was just like devastated about how her golf game is going. I thought that just made the legend and the legacy of Nelly Korda even better. It shows how quickly things can just vanish. It shows how you can feel like you've got it in this game that we, Dan said we talk about for a living. Sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't. You go through good stretches, bad stretches. It's insane how quickly things can turn. And I just thought, in the same way that Rory leaving and just not even wanting to talk to anybody and then releasing a statement being like, I'm just stepping away from golf for a few weeks, gave me a lot of like more love for Rory, being like, hell yeah, I want my athletes at the highest level to care that much. I think it would be really easy for people to see a clip of it wouldn't be that shocking to see a clip of Nelly Korda out there laughing, being like, I've had the best year of all time. This is just a little bit of a setback, whatever. No, she was like devastated to her fucking core walking around out there, clearly just super, super rattled about the way that she's playing. And I love seeing that out of Nelly. So I thought that kind of stuck out just for me on the golf front.
Yeah, you never know. You never know when you're gonna. When she said, I think what her quote was like, a lot of things went my way at the beginning of the year, and now this is kind of golf paying me back. You can borrow and take, and that it makes those runs that's why the run that she went on and that Scottie is on is so special, is because it is not the norm, and we all know that it's not the norm. It's an aberration, and it's almost like the exception proves the rule, where it's like, yeah, you're gonna shoot 80. That's golf.
It's possible. Game sucks. I can't believe we play it or talk about it, but yeah, it's awesome. It's the most fun thing in the world. So yeah, that was from the women's game, and then this will already have occurred when this podcast comes out. But Game 7 is tonight in the Stanley Cup Final. We've got an all-time legacy game. It's not a hockey podcast, but just an all-time legacy game. Connor McDavid, the Edmonton Oilers. There has not been a Stanley Cup won in Canada since 1994, I believe. Is that when it was? 1993?
Yeah, was it?
So it's been over
Canadians?
Been over 30 years. It was the Montreal Canadiens, Canada, hockey. Everybody knows that, how into it they are, especially in Edmonton. I've been seeing all kinds of great clips, documentaries. I watched the King's Ransom, which was the Wayne Gretzky being traded to the LA Kings from Edmonton documentary a couple weeks ago. And in that, they do a whole 15 minutes about what hockey and the Oilers mean in Edmonton. And now for it to be down 3-0, comes storming back the way that they have had. Connor McDavid didn't have any points in the last game, but the 2 games before that, he had 8 points in 2 games, which is unheard of. He's on this just outrageous fucking run. Florida, the team last year, they lost in the finals. This year, they came back bigger, better. They look unfucking flappable. And now they're at home. They're like the longest odds of an at-home Game 7 team in a long, long, long time. They're pretty much even money. They're a little bit stronger than even money to win at home. But Game 7 tonight for us hockey folks, massive night.
This is broken through. My parents are coming over to my house to watch Game 7 with me, which it doesn't happen. This is a big day for hockey, right? There's no basketball. There's no this is going to do a huge number tonight.
McDavid broke through for me too. I know I've talked a lot about Connor McDavid on this show, not knowing who he was. I know who he is now. Him walking by the media and saying, "You guys excited for your flight?" That's fucking awesome. Because he's making them fly back and forth. Because he's like, "You guys thought this thing was going to be over in 4. We're going to." Yeah. That's an incredible quote. That's that's badass shit.
I looked up where Edmonton is. Couldn't believe it. It's so far. It's like 2 hours north of Montana. It's fucking way up there. Yeah, dude.
I think it is. I think it's the farthest you could have 2 cities away from each other that could play against each other in professional sports in North America. I think I saw some clip like that. It is. I mean, we're in fucking Miami, Florida, all the way up to Edmonton, which is Alaska.
Crazy.
It's unfucking believable. They've had to fly back.
It's caused them to take extra days off, which has been annoying. There's no reason why the Stanley Cup Finals should still be going on. If you didn't make the playoffs, you haven't played in 3 months. The playoffs are taking forever. I think the Stanley Cup Finals is in its 3rd week. So, I mean, obviously it went to 7 games, but they're taking 2 days off in between each game. All the flights have been insane. So, yeah, it feels like this has gone on forever. Connor McDavid is, dude, he's different, man. I mean, he's just, and you talk to these hockey, I'm lucky enough to be able to talk to a lot of these guys that are his peers and they're playing the same league as him. And even they say he's just another type of human being. I heard a great story. I played with Barzell, at the creek the other day. It was an awesome spot, obviously Long Island, just a spot that no one talks about. The creek and Piping Rock, 2 North Shore Long Island courses that are just phenomenal. CB McDonald, I mean, it's basically what the Lido was, the creek, because it's got the same type of layout and it's on the water, and you're just oh shit, this is exactly what the creek probably looked like. It's out of control how good it is. And their driving range at the creek has all the template holes. So 85 yards, it's a punch bowl. 150 yards, it's a Barrett's. 175 yards, it's a Redan. And then somewhere in the middle, it's the what's the one that I'm missing? Oh, the Thumbprint. Oh, dude, no, they had the thumbprint at like 85 yards. I was hitting a little 54 degree, and they have the pin in the middle of the thumbprint. So you're just ripping these little low checker 54 degrees at this pin.
Dude, I can't
hit
believe
the pin
I've never
like
heard
3
of that.
times.
I can't believe I've never heard that they have that on the range. That's
it's got to be the
fucking-
best range in the world.
That's unbelievable. That's
Yeah,
sick.
it's got to be the best range in the world. And like, and the greens are perfectly mowed. So when you hit the Redan, it's like it goes towards the pin. And so you learn how to hit it. And then when you go and play the creek, all those holes are out there. All the template holes are on the golf course. But anyway, after the round, shot 78, by the way, with 2 doubles, played great.
Let's go.
I mean, I'm just playing. I'm playing really good. It's a par 70, but I'm playing really well. Good match. Like I'm playing well right now. He was telling us after, having a beer and a burger after, and we were just talking about the finals. And he was like, there was a time when he was younger, when he like felt like he was the best player in his area of Canada. He was like 11, 12 years old, whatever it is. Matt Barzell, right?
Okay.
Like he's like this young phenom kid, like dominating all the leagues that he's in. And him and his dad probably think that he's the best player they've ever seen. Like his dad's like juiced up about his son, Matt. He's winning all these tournaments. He's the MVP of everything. Then they heard that this kid from the East was this kid, Connor, that was just, I think he's a little bit older, but he's just tearing up the East. And everyone's like, what the fuck is this kid about? And he told this story about they played in the same tournament for the first time, and Connor was coming on after him. And Matt was sitting in the stands like after his game with his dad, and they watched one drill, like pregame drill, where like he would skate up towards the blue line, cut in and receive a pass and come in and shoot in the slot. And it took them 3 strides to look at each other and be like, that's the best player we've ever seen in our entire lives. Like this kid was like 13 years old. And then he went out and won like 10 points that game. It's just like, it's different, right? And it's not crazy to say, like, I mean, Matt is scoring high 80 points every year. He's a star of the New York Islanders. Then you got McDavid had 140 points this year, and he has 40 something points in the playoffs. Like this guy is doing things that no one else is even coming close to doing. It's not like you're succumbing to a guy, like one of your peers. This guy, the whole league is talking about it. You know what I mean? It's mind blowing.
I guess my question is, without Connor McDavid, where are the Oilers in terms of a playoff?
Hard to, I mean,
hockey is not basketball, obviously, so it's so
right. That's what I'm asking. Yeah,
it requires so much more of a team effort. It's almost that's why this is more impressive, Trent, because I do think he is literally the X factor in a way that a player can't be outside of maybe a fucking goalie in all of hockey. Like especially a forward, like he's only out there a third of the time, and he's one of 11 people on the ice if you include the goalies in both teams and all that. So it's like, how much of an impact can you really have, especially in a game where there's not that much space? And he has the impact. He changes games on his fucking own. The last game against Dallas, when they won in game 6, they got outshot like 35-10, I think it was. And McDavid just like had a goal and an assist and won the game on his own. And then you're watching some of these plays where he skates, and the Chicklets guys do a great job of talking about it. Like there's a level now in terms of professional sports, hockey, where it's like everyone is maxing out the peak performance of the human body. They're doing video fucking breakdowns so that you're in the perfect spot at the perfect time. They're getting all these fast twitch muscle training so that you're as good as you could possibly be. And then they're all the best players and best athletes born that are playing the game, all at the highest level, that have all been doing it. Now they've got years of experience. How in the literal fuck can one guy be way better than the others? And then he grabs the puck, rips through the neutral zone, skates through 3 Florida defensemen, and passes it back door.
That was the craziest one.
What are you talking about? You can't do that. These guys are too good. Nobody can do that. And he's able to just take over the entire game. That is what sticks out. And like when he's out there, the second he gets the puck, how can he skate that much faster than everyone else? Like, you can't. We've been studying what the fucking Russians did for decades. How come all these guys are so fast? Now we've learned, we've caught up. Everybody's fast. How is he that much faster? It's like, there's no fucking way. And yet he just is, dude. He's like,
he's just a perfect. We talk about sperm fertilizing an egg and how insane the odds are of that. He is the odds of a Connor McDavid having his skill set, clearly whatever he was born with, the fast twitch muscles in his legs or whatever it might be, his hand-eye coordination, the ability to be able to do this, and then also pick hockey as a sport, be born in Canada, have this passion to play this sport. Like he's the perfect human being to play hockey. There's just no other arguing. Like he has God-given talent that no one else does.
Does he win the MVP every year?
He's won it 3 times. He's also only 4 months older than Barzal. I just looked it up.
Woo.
Only 4 months older.
Yeah, they're both 90. What is it? One's January 97
97?
and one's May 97. Yeah.
97.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
Born in
special.
97.
It's
and also he
special
was
how good he
saying,
is.
Barzy was saying that he's like he's like taller than you think, because you would expect him to be like this kind of like short, shifty guy. He's like 6'2", I think.
Whoa.
And like kind of
That's
like,
unbelievable.
Yeah, he kind of hides it well.
That's
I'm
unbelievable.
going to watch tonight. And again, it's already happened, but I like greatness like that. That's fun. That's just like, what? And he's not, what, number 97? Is that right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hockey guy. I'm going to watch that tonight, and I'm just going to keep my eyes on him.
How is Florida? Is the odds are pretty much even?
Yeah.
Wouldn't the team that's won 3 in a row and going back home? I guess
No,
Florida been
Florida's
like,
at home. Florida's at home.
Oh,
That's why.
Florida's
it's at
still
Florida.
a phenomenal team. They're perfectly built. They're
They
big.
stink.
They have a lot of depth. They have a great goalie. I mean, you got Barkov is one of the best players in the league. That's underappreciated. No one talks about how good that
insane.
fucking guy is.
How
Kachuk's
good he is.
incredible. From top to bottom, they are a perfectly built team. They went out and traded a bunch of guys. I mean, Bennett, Reinhardt, like they constructed this team through the trades. They picked off all these lesser teams like the Buffalo Sabres and the Ottawa Senators.
The fuck?
Shout out Alex Bush, fucking Buffalo. Yeah, they went out and they picked off all these fucking desperate teams for picks and prospects, and they built a great team. I don't know who the fucking GM is in Florida, but he's done a great job.
Did you
A
see him throw that
phenomenal
water
job.
bottle? Just absolutely
Oh, I
chuck that
did.
water
Yeah,
bottle against the wall.
Yeah, he's pissed
not
right
happy.
now.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever happens, happens. We'll see. It's Game 7. This is what. And it is funny to see like Paul Maurice, the coach of the Panthers, be like, "Yeah, this is like what you dream of." It's like, dude, you had a 3-0 lead. I think you were dreaming about just lifting the cup 2 weeks ago, but I get it. Like you do. He's like, no one remembers no one when they're growing up scores the game-winning goal in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. It's always Game 7. So like, let's go do it tonight. It's like, I get it. Like you have to say these things, but you have
What
lost
else are you
3.
gonna say? Yeah.
You've lost 3 in a row. This would be
Yeah,
historic.
Has
Dude.
it happened in hockey before? I know it obviously happened in baseball, but
I think it happened in
Since
like
the
the
40s.
40s.
My dad
but,
and I
like,
were looking
that
this
was
up.
when
The Maple Leafs.
that was when the
Maple
Rangers
Leafs
were winning cups.
Yeah.
There was 6 teams in the league.
Dude.
All you had to do was just win like one series, and that wasn't even real time.
I hate
think
to sound like a current dayist, but the 1940s didn't exist. All right, that's
No,
that's
dude,
so long ago that
Yeah.
I might be recency bias because I'm alive right now. 1940s, that's not a real time.
Since the cure for polio has come around, that's my benchmark. Like the Rangers have 1 cup. Like no team has come back from 3-0 since the
Dude,
cure for polio has come around.
Our athletes were storming Normandy, and when this happened last
Right.
time, like we're not counting that. So no, this has never happened before.
Yes, never.
I think too, like this game tonight is so, dude, for like Connor and all that. Like you don't know that you're going to get there, and especially in hockey, like we talked about, because the best player can't have as much of an impact as in a lot of other
You may
sports.
never
So
get
it's
there
like-
again.
So right, and it's like to be
That's so
considered
crazy.
one of the all time greats, you got to win a cup, at least one. And like, here he is. He's got this shot. He's got this chance. How insane is momentum in sports, too? Like, if Florida had been down 3-1, and then they had won a couple, and they're going back home 3-3, which is the exact same scenario as they're like the puck's dropping and you're in the same spot. But instead, they're going back trying to like concoct these things about how you'd rather win a Game 7 than a Game 5. Whereas like Edmonton's going in with all the momentum. Just like when you play golf with your buddies, and it's like if you get to 3 holes left and you're 1 up, you're like, oh my God, we're the king of the world if we would have teed off that. But we're 4 up, and instead you're standing there on the 16th tee being like, we're gonna lose this fucking match. I know we're gonna lose this match. And it's just like that in sports. The momentum, dude, Edmonton has won. They've scored 1 trillion goals in the last 3 games. They are just absolutely tearing through Florida, who's phenomenal. So yeah, I'm juiced up. I'm glad to hear that it's broken through, Dan, because hockey gets shit on a lot in this country, and I'm glad that it's up there. I'm glad
And
that
There
it's-
really
it's
has been
not-
nothing else
It's not the
on.
big 6, like big markets. It's
No.
it's the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. Game 7.
It
Game
is
7's
it is
different.
a function of there being nothing else,
Yeah,
which is
there is
good.
We'll take
nothing
it.
else on.
We'll take it. Stretch that series out. Golf Zone, world's biggest simulator brand. They've got facilities in 63 different countries. We're talking 63 different countries. There's one in our Chicago headquarters here at BarstoolSports.com. Over 7.5 billion shots are hit every year with Golf Zone. 90 million rounds played last year. 4.8 million members. 230 plus golf courses available. Golf Zone does all the course mapping and flies a drone to map the hills. The floor moves to make the hills, and they have been doing the moving floor. Which, if you haven't experienced this, the Golf Zone moving floors on the simulator for a hanging lie, for putting. They've been doing that, making golf simulators with moving floors since 2002.
Whoa.
Yeah, it has an element that you really it used to be. I used to complain about simulators and the fact that everything's a flat lie, no matter where you hit it. Simulator golf really doesn't simulate golf because if you hit one in the rough, like it should be kind of thick, it should be a little bit above your feet, whatever it might be. And it really does emulate those types of shots. You have to kind of choke up. You have to let your body and your spine go with the movement of the ground, just like you would on a real golf course. So yeah, I mean, it's great. I love playing out there when we're in Chicago, playing on the Golf Zone simulator. I mean, out of all those billions of shots, Jersey Jerry probably amounts for half of them. But yeah, it's great. It's been great. The putting's awesome. And it's just, and you can actually bend the shots. You can hit the draws. You can hit the fades. You can actually see it move. It's not like one of those where it takes a second to kind of capture what the swing was and what the speed was. It's pretty instantaneous. So you feel like you're moving shots, you're hitting draws, you're hitting fades. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, and look, golf simulators are just in, right? They're in. It's not perfect weather everywhere. It's an outdoor sport, as we all know. Simulator, you're going to be able to play, whenever you would like. So go check out these places, these locations. Visit golfzonegolf.com, golfzonegolf.com. That's golfzonegolf.com, golfzonegolf.com. Find a Golf Zone location near you. That is golfzonegolf.com. Find a location near you.
I watched a great, cute movie. If anyone wants to watch a movie with their kids or their wife or whatever, the girlfriend, this movie, it's like Imaginary Friends. It's good, man. It's a Ryan Reynolds and John Krasinski movie. It's got like a little animation in it, but it's a great movie to watch, family movie. I think it's available for like rent on Amazon right now. It's not out fully. I really enjoyed the shit out of it. It's one of those movies that has like 48 Rotten Tomatoes, but then user score is like 90. So the critics just didn't know what the fuck. They don't know what fun is, They don't know what feeling good is.
I've been seeing Inside Out 2's been getting a lot of pub. After the first one, man, I don't think I can do it. It's like, I know what's going to happen.
Pixar, Disney, all of that, Imaginations, whatever, any sort of, animated movie like that, I'm all in on it. So I'm going to watch the shit out of that.
But they're just going to rip your heart out.
I know.
I mean, Bing Bong.
They all do.
Or what's his name? Was it Bing Bong?
What is it? Oh, yeah.
The elephant from the first one?
It was like the negative emotion, wasn't it? Like sadness. What
was that creature's name?
I can't remember.
Bing Bong is the next thing, no?
Bing Bong. Yeah.
I can't think of it.
Bing Bong.
Jerry O'Connell does that Big Bong thing with fucking Pardon My Take. Have you seen his videos? Oh my God, they're so fucking funny. Jerry O'Connell is like an actor, daytime TV show host, and he sends in these videos to Pardon My Take that are so outrageous. He's in the middle of the fucking ocean, like ripping Hank to shreds. And he's like, "Bing Bong, you could have had the plane lady, but you fucked up." He's just like, he just shreds them. He's so fucking funny. You got to go watch him. It's so good. Oh, speaking of Pardon My Take, I think we have a video. Barstool Golfs is back, and I think it's coming out on Thursday. I'm gonna have to confirm with Alex Bush right here. Hopefully, he can be the voice of God.
Yeah, Thursday.
Wow. So we've got Big Cat is going to kick off this new season of Barstool Golfs. We've got Big Cat, Chaps, PFT, Trent Ryan making an appearance. We've got hopefully Frank the Tank's going to be coming out there. We've got a nice little section of the Barstool Golfs people coming out from the office to play golf. So we were in Chicago. We knocked out a couple of them. Those are coming out starting Thursday. And I think that's going to coincide with a nice little coffee drop as well. So a lot of fun things coming out with the Pardon My Take, Barstool Golf, synergy. I think this is going to be a good week for us.
Hell yeah. All right. Anybody have anything else? Anything pressing?
Nope, that's it.
I don't think so.
My dad and I finished 3rd out of 6 on our flight in the member guest. So super awesome and super notable result.
Yeah, just right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
Yep,
my dad was telling everyone we finished 3rd. I'm like, out of 6.
I respect that.
That wasn't bad. It was 3rd place finish.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back on Thursday, as always. And then we got 4th of July week next week. So we're going to put out 1 show next week instead of 2. So everybody enjoy your week. Hope Game 7 was phenomenal. Can't wait to talk about it. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.